Los Angeles, California, we've got football as EA Sports coverage of the NFL is on the air. Northern California visits Southern California. The Niners and Chargers, off we go from L.A. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Herbert. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defender's minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
He's going to let it go again. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, LA! Josh Palmer, 59 yards. And the Chargers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. And they'll have Herbert try and throw for it. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
Throwing here, Purdy. Oh, his first throw of the game, going to be intercepted. Picked off by Deion Henley. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Boy, Charles, a lot of action right out of the gate. The two teams barely off the buses. We've already had the touchdown and now the interception.
Yeah, whatever happened to the feeling out process? You know, kind of throw a few jabs out there, kind of circle the ring a little bit. Both of them throwing haymakers right out of the gate. And the second one was an interception that may cost him.
He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Lad McConkey, 46 yards. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And they're going to get it. That one's caught. And now the lead moves to 16-0. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. Oh, what a move. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 18 yards, first down Niners. In motion comes the tight end left. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Well, this time they'll throw it. Here's Purdy. A back foot throw there is incomplete.
Interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that, but it does seem there's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. And the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. He's got the hook up downfield to McConkey. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. He'll buy some time right. He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 16-0. That's the score after 1 on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal. Edwards trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1. Once more, Edwards. And this time, he'll work his way in. Touchdown, Chargers. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be a possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
A gain there of 21 yards.
If your sympathies lie with the defense, you understand how tough it is for linebackers to run with a guy like this. He's going to slip out of the backfield and then work in the middle of the field. And sometimes those defenders get preoccupied with other people moving, and he finds open space and makes a nice play.
On the toss, they run wide side with McCaffrey. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Now 2nd and 9. Now a draw play to McCaffrey. Despite the strong run, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Purdy looking to throw. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. He's to the 15. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Extra point try now from Dicker. And the lead is now an even 30. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
The Niners take over first and 10. Their own 27-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Now Purdy.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. McConkey with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Chargers continue to pull away here in this first half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And the route is on here in this first half.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
He'll fire this deep for Ayuk.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Oh, a heck of a move. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
Well, Charles, you were so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
That's completed right side to Palmer.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
They'll run with Dobbins.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. J.K. Dobbins. As the first half is winding down. And the Chargers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the rout is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find...
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Fighting his way through contact, and he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Well, certainly they haven't had the ideal first half, but there's some momentum for them to take into halftime.
Yeah, and it might not be that wild momentum, you know, that you see sometimes where they score late and teams go sprinting off and the whole deal. No, it might not be that, but it does give them a better feeling about themselves and what they can accomplish in the second half.
And he will get into the end zone. So a perfect finish to the half. They get the touchdown on the final play and two more for good measure. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
That's caught downfield by Kittle. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Play action. Now Purdy. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked up by Elijah Molden. And the Chargers are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Now it's Herbert. Eluding the pressure right. And he's out right at the 25. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. Here's 3rd and 6. Back to throw here, Herbert. That is caught on the move past the 40. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Justin Herbert looking to pass. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. This now a 3rd and 4. Here's Herbert. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Ladd McConkey, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Chargers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
On the screen, this is Mason. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Purdy.
Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Here's Purdy.
Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41.
Purdy will look to throw again here. Open man is Juwan Jennings.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd and 5. Back to throw, Purdy.
That's complete to the tight end, Saubert. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 14.
It's a gain of 23 yards.
McCaffrey running up the middle. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12.
Here's a 2nd and 8. They go play action here. Purdy
steps away. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about here. But it may be cliche, but give them credit for this. They've continued to fight and scratch and claw, and they get the touchdown here in the 4th quarter.
And I'm okay with that cliche, all right? Maybe it'll alleviate the sting a little bit, because at least they can look in the mirror and realize they fought all the way through. Horrible game for them. Not one they'll want to remember, but at least they'll keep their heads up and have some pride when they leave this stadium.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Denzel Perryman.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. From his end zone, here's Darius Davis.
And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
This 2nd and 4.
With the late lead, Herbert's going to throw it.
That's taken in by Palmer.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But
oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Diamador Lenore. And the 49ers will take over possession here up at the 44.
Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Throwing here, Purdy.
Gets this one to use check.
And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Purdy now to throw.
And now here's another interception.
Picked up by Deion Henley. And the Chargers are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
The Charger drive about to get going. They came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the 4th.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the better team, right? We figured that out pretty early, but give them a lot of credit for staying with it. They didn't stumble around out there. They didn't create a lot of errors for themselves because they were the superior team. They took care of business and closed them out pretty quickly.
Right back to Dobbins on first. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. They're going to pass here with Herbert. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
So that one, his 4th touchdown catch of the game, one behind the all-time record of 5. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing